Everyone, it's Adina from Adina Rose Ayurveda. Just wanted to make this quick video and include some tips for staying healthy this season. And it's late winter here in Vermont. We just had about 12 inches of snow in the past 24 hours. Beautiful. It's typical. It's good for us to have this much snow. It also sort of reminds me that this is a transition, a shift in the qualities of the season, the qualities of the winter, and we can view that in the Ayurvedic perspective from shifting from this Vata season with the air and space elements dominant to the Kapha season where we're coming more into the water and earth, more dense elements being dominant. And right now is a balanced time, or it can be tough to stay balanced because we have a lot of qualities and maybe sometimes conflicting qualities coming in and influencing our health. And it can certainly depend on our constitution as well, how those qualities affect us. But there are some general things that you can all be aware of, and some things you probably have right in your kitchen, some homegrown kitchen medicine that you can use to stay healthy and balanced. And I just wanted to share some of those things with you. So one thing to know about coming into Kapha season is we're going from these light, mobile, rough, dry qualities that it's very obvious seeing in the fall and early winter: dry skin, anxiety, some of us have some fear, maybe even seasonal depression, which kind of can bring us into Vata and into Kapha. Kapha is more of the heavy qualities: heavy, dense, soft, wet, cold. Again, moving from what we might say Vata as being like frost, like light, almost sharp in its dryness, and fluctuating, to this now we're midwinter, deep, solid, dark, heavy ice on the lakes. And that would be more of those Kapha qualities. So some of us need to be careful that we're not being depleted by this deep, long winter, especially you with more Vata in your constitution. And as we come into Kapha season, we also need to be aware that we're not getting stagnant and sluggish. Kapha is involved in all of our mucous membranes, so especially nasal passages, the lungs, the joints, the lymphatic. It's sort of connected to the lymphatic tissue. And when that can get stagnant, we can feel lethargic, and we can want to move less, and then we can actually start getting congestion in those mucous membranes, getting deep, thick, mucousy coughs and colds. So there's a fine balance here. If you're feeling fatigued, be sure to rest enough, but if you're crossing that line of sleeping in really late, going to bed late, feeling sluggish, watch your Kapha balance time here. So to keep our immune system strong and to keep our lymph moving, our blood moving, we can use some culinary spices that are just easy to come across, and you might have them in your own kitchen. So some kitchen medicine I just want to share with you today is to remind you of some of these ingredients that are great for this time of year. We're mostly looking at warmth, so aromatics, some pungent spices, but not too hot. Things that help to open and flow. One of the best things for that we've got is fresh ginger, of course. You can make fresh ginger tea. Just slice up a bit, like a tablespoon or two. You don't even have to peel it. Throw it in a pot with a couple of cups of warm water. Boil, strain. Great, nice, spicy tea. I'd love to also share and remind you of turmeric. So turmeric is great. Really, it's fine for all doshas. Great mixed with raw honey if you have a sore throat, if you feel a cold coming on, if you've got some congestion. To really just take a teaspoon, mix it together, and kind of lick on that. And turmeric is a little bit pungent, but it's not pungent like if you get a chili powder and you stick it to your tongue and it's burning. It's less pungent than that, but it still has that hot quality. Bright orange. There's a lot of fire in it. And it's also bitter and astringent, so it's great for Kapha. pungent, bitter, and astringent balanced kapha, but it's not going to be aggravating necessarily for vata. And don't be afraid to use a lot of this. You can safely take tablespoons a day. I'm just saying, like, if you needed to. But if you're mixing it with honey, I'd just take a maximum 2 teaspoons of the honey and turmeric mixture per day. And if you're having really mucousy cough and cold, you can mix in some black pepper, which is also great for cleansing the lungs, maybe even a little cayenne, like a pinch, or even cinnamon. Cinnamon is also an aromatic, and it's drying, and it's going to help to dry up any excess mucus. I just made today a late winter masala mix influenced by one of my teachers, Maya Tiwari. It is turmeric powder, of course, ginger powder, dry ginger powder, a little bit of paprika, so a little more of that peppery pungency, and then I roasted cumin seeds and black or brown mustard seeds, and then ground it all up together. It's really aromatic, nutty, roasty kind of, and you can really put it on anything. You can even put it on like almond butter toast, or it's of course like sprinkled on top of vegetables or cooked into vegetables. You can also add some dried ginger powder to this if you had it. I didn't have it on hand, so I didn't add it. Maybe when I cook I'll add some fresh garlic powder, excuse me. There is ginger in here, which is also great for balancing kapha and vata and adds just a little more flavor, another aromatic. I just wanted to share with you one of my favorite things that I've found lately. It's incense. It's Japanese incense, I believe, by Shoyaido Amethyst. I don't know, but it has sandalwood, cinnamon, and other spices, and I love it. It kind of smells like you're baking cookies, but less sweet and just really homey. Cinnamon, again, being just a great spice for this time of year, uplifting, but a little bit. Last thing I want to share with you today is that I've been craving chlorophyll, craving greens, and this is an appropriate time of year to start wanting that bitter and astringent taste. But for most of the winter, I don't eat raw. I need to be aware of my raw intake, that rough quality that can aggravate vata, because I have quite a bit of vata in my constitution. But lately I've been craving sprouts, and it's super easy to make sprouts. I actually have in the past, but I was doing it this complicated way with sheet pans and soil, and then I was either clipping or cleaning the sprouts after, and it was more waste, more space, more of a process. So all I did is go out to the gardener's supply store and get one of these little caps for a mason jar. It has like a screen top on it. You just pop it on. And it's a wide mouth mason jar, and I bought broccoli seeds. You can use radishes. They have a little bit of that pungency. They're great for this season. Broccoli have a really lot of antioxidants. They're just considered cancer fighters, really good for you, and pretty cheap as well. So I put about 4 tablespoons of broccoli seeds in this jar. I soaked them in water overnight and drained them. And now every day for about 6 to 7 days, all I do is rinse them with water and pour it out. And I set them in my dish rack just at a 45-degree angle like this. And when they're ready to eat, you can eat them. These are about 4 days old, and they're probably going to be ready in 2 days for me to eat. And sprouts they have that bitter, astringent green taste that's cleansing, clarifying, balancing for kapha, but they aren't like this crunchy, raw, hard, raw food. I find that they have this softness to them, so they're not going to aggravate vata. You can even put them on anything. Again, you can put them on soups. You can put them on, stir fries or curries, just on top, because they're going to get warm and soft and almost melt down, but they're raw, and you're still going to get that freshness to them. So I wanted to share that with you because I'm really excited about it, and I've been craving some greens, craving some chlorophyll lately. So I hope that these tips have helped you and will help you stay healthy this season, and I look forward to connecting with you again soon. Namaste.